OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Outcastedoc OC podcast. You are here with your new World Heavyweight Champion and obviously the head of the podcast, G. And we've all come together today to do our crown jewel predictions. Now, I thought I'd bring my new title out, considering that there are quite a few titles that are being defended on the show. That's not what it's about right now. Let's get straight into it. But first, we have a special guest on the podcast. Keaton has joined us today. So, Keaton, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the crown jewel match card?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm Keaton. I'm friends with Ross, work with Ross. Been a wrestling fan since... Well, I got into... I met Ross and then, it made my way onto G. You know what I mean? Can't complain about that.
So is it fair to ask who you're a better friend with now? Is it G or Ross?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
I feel like you could. You're just dodging the question. But anyway.
Just avoid.
You said that, not me.
Yeah. I'll happily be the one to say it. But before we get into the match card, how's everyone feeling about Crown Jewel going into it before we get into the actual matches on the card? Because
this could be like a WrestleMania card, dude. This is like a high stakes card for one, and two, like all the matches on there are like huge. Like they're really good.
They're good matches.
Absolutely. I feel like they've really shaped up that card within the last couple of weeks. I think maybe 3 weeks ago we had only maybe 1 or 2 matches announced, but they've really, they've padded it up and it's actually looking really good. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the kickoff show match. And yes, you heard me right, kickoff show match between Sami Zayn and JD McDonough. Now, I'm just going to say straight off the bat, I'm so happy that they're bringing these matches back because the kickoff show for me has just become an absolute joke. Like, they spend an hour talking about all the matches on the card. Like, we know nothing about what's going on when 9 times out of 10, all of us are keeping up with WWE on a regular basis. So I will start off with G for the predictions and then we'll go all the way around and I'll do mine last. So G, how are you feeling about this match?
So we'll hold my hands up. I know they had a bit of a interaction on Raw. I haven't watched Raw, so I don't actually know what happened between the pair of them. But even in regards to everything going on with Judgment Day and Sami and Kevin being split, I just want Sami to have his time again. So I'm going to go for Sami to win.
Fair enough. Ross, how are you feeling?
On the opposite end, Sami did an incredible heartfelt promo. I really was invested in how he spoke about, constantly going against people that have always bullied him and going against everything. But for me, this is the perfect time in a massive crowd, get JD over with Judgment Day, make him an official member by putting Sami Zayn out. I think that's a perfect way to build this up and make Judgment Day be like, right, you've done what you need to. Yeah, you're in now. Because they keep doing this will they won't they with JD. This is the time to solidify it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when numbers are needed, especially in the Judgment Day corner going into Survivor Series, if we're going to be doing anything in particular, I think this is definitely going to be JD's crowning moment. No pun intended there, but also intended because, it's the name of the event. This is the perfect time for them to actually bring him in and be like, yeah, you've done your part. I think it's time you can be a part of the group. So I totally agree with you on that one. Keaton, how are you feeling about this match?
Yeah, I don't think I'm saying more towards JD. I think it's his time. I think he's been sort of on the outside for a little bit and slowly making his way in. You can see him slowly starting to turn, like Rhea and then Damien. And I think Crown Jewel will be this. It'll be his crowning moment, in a sense. And then he'll bring himself in and then they'll go from there.
True. Reese, how you feeling?
Well, this is an interesting match for me, and it's one to watch because it might just be a pre-show match, but it's actually got larger implications on to what could happen on Raw. Just because I think Sami Zayn has just started off his singles career again after being in a tag team for a while. He's in a difficult situation here where he lost to Drew, and if he loses here, it's, people are, you need to take a guy who says he wants to be in the main event seriously and he's losing these matches in a row. With that being said, literally what Keaton just said around about JD McDonough getting into the Judgment Day, I think it's I think it was Wade Barrett who said it on Raw himself. He was like, I mean, if it was me, I would have put him into the Judgment Day a long time ago. But that, I'm not in the Judgment Day, so I can make those decisions. So I'm gonna have to go with Sami Zayn because I want him in the main event, and I want him to be like considered a main event guy. Just while I'm on Sami Zayn, by the way, I'm surprised that he's actually going to be at Crown Jewel because like he's not really. He's been absent from every single show. I believe this is the first one he's been to.
No, second. He did his first one earlier this year or late last year with Kevin, didn't he?
Last year's one,
When
yeah.
they were tag champs.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was him and KO. It was one of the
because
first.
Kevin Owens doesn't normally go either.
Yeah,
right,
and then
okay.
I think they relaxed the rules in Saudi to let him go, and then that's when they both were like, "Yeah, no, we'll go." Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm still. Yeah. I was just in shock with it because I don't remember that one. I'm not gonna lie. So I was surprised when I realized that Sammy was having a match, but JD McDonough is going to find a way into the Judgment Day somehow. I think it's probably going to have something to do with Damian Priest, either him getting kicked out of the group or him allowing him into the group. Getting over Ripley, maybe then going against each other. Something to do with that. But I think Sami Zayn needs that victory more than JD does at this point.
Yeah, I totally agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I'm in two minds about this. I can see where this would work really well for both outcomes. Obviously, we want Sami Zayn to go and do singles work and be in that title picture. I think back to when he was against Roman at Elimination Chamber this year. I think that was when he was at the height of his singles main event trajectory. And I would love for Sami Zayn to win this and then go up against the likes of maybe go up against Roman again, or Seth, or whoever wins that title if there's a different outcome. But I'm more leaning towards, I think this is the moment where you pull the trigger on JD McDonough joining Judgment Day. I think this should have happened a long time ago, and I think this is the perfect time for this to happen. And I'm going back to what was said previously. I think match order really matters, and they've done this on purpose first, because you could have JD win this, join the Judgment Day, and then something else happens later on down the line where his loyalty is tested. And I think that is really interesting to see how that's going to play out. But yeah, my prediction is JD McDonough on this. But let's go over to the next match I have on my list, which is Cody Rhodes going up against Damian Priest. So G, what are you feeling for this one?
I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a little bit bored of Cody.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh no.
I'm just going to put it out there. Like, he's not really doing much, and he's just kind of there doing the same speech every week. And what's he doing?
I get what you mean. I think he was going up on. He's such a high at WrestleMania, and then there's a massive lull period, and then I think when Royal Rumble happens next year, I think it'll truly start kicking off. But yeah, there's been a massive period this year where he hasn't really been doing much, and it's kind of like fans haven't really lost interest at the shows. But I get what you mean in terms of you just. You want more
like, I expect Cody to come out and do a promo this week. That's it. Literally. And it's not like the promos are different or calling people out. It's the same thing in different words every week.
Mm-hmm. But he always starts with, so what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, no. So what do you want to talk about? And I don't know. I want Damian to just cash that brief. I'm just waiting for that moment he cashes that briefcase in on anyone. But I'm going for Damian on this one because the Judgment Day are up there, and I feel like the Judgment Day will probably win most of their matches. So yeah, I'm going to go for Damian.
Fair enough. Ross, do you share the same thought process as G?
I'm with Damian winning. I always was. Damian is coming across like the strong, kind of wanted to be independent away from Judgment Day now. But he's still with them because, better in numbers and things like that. Mm. And with the whole Cody thing, I'm kind of leaning the same way as G. There's a lot of Codyisms, is the best way of explaining it. They had this problem in AEW where they big him as this, he's the must-see guy. You have to buy your ticket to get him. But you give him lackluster feud after lackluster feud. And you put him on this pedestal of, we're going to make him go for this one title, but that's all we're going to do. We're going to constantly gloss it over him and be around him and do nothing with it. like the whole reason he struggled in AEW was the TNT title, constantly him winning it, because that was the only belt he could win. And WWE have kind of started doing that booking as well now, where they've gone, oh, to finish your story, you can only get Roman's belt, but you're currently stuck on Raw. You're currently constantly feuding with the Judgment Day, and there's nothing you could do with it. Logically, the only thing I can see this match doing is a precursor to a match stipulation where Cody goes against Damian again at another pay-per-view, but fights for the briefcase so he can cash in on Roman. That's the only way I can see this is a potential option. Other than this, it's just a throwaway match that Damian's going to win.
Yeah, I get that. And I also come back to thinking as well, too, okay, well, if we are going to set up Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns next year for WrestleMania, how do we get Cody from Raw to SmackDown? One thing you could have done is you could have actually traded Jay with Cody, and that could have easily gotten him over there. Or it might be a case of him having to win the Rumble again, and then obviously call his shot again. But it's like there's other people that could do that would actually be able to benefit more from that.
That was my thoughts in the original place when Cody and Jay won the undisputed tag bouts, because then they were able to go across any brand, and I thought that was my way of Cody's way of getting closer to Roman. But I feel like they did it too early if that was the case.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it comes back to they're trying to do long-term booking. They're having stare-offs on SmackDown with certain people. It's like, all right, cool, I see where you're going, but how do we get there? So it's just interesting to see. Keaton, how are you feeling about the match between Damian and Cody?
Yeah, so looking at it, I was thinking I don't really understand it in a way, because I know obviously there's an issue with Cody and obviously the Judgment Day and stuff like that, but it doesn't really give anything to Cody, because if he beats Damian, it's just going to go that line again where they're just going to be feuding between the both of them.
Yeah,
and I think with like you were saying, Cody's sort of like stagnant at the moment. It's sort of like you're not putting him in a good feud to make people want to invest in him like he was with before, like with the WrestleMania and stuff like that. And like now from that, you can't put him against Damian Priest, who's arguably the guy at the moment in the Judgment Day. He's got the briefcase. He's not in a sense the leader, but you can see there's some disparity between him and Rhea at the moment, especially with what happened on Monday. The difference, it's building up to something, but I do think like he goes over. I think Damian Priest wins this, and I think he wins it with some interference as well. I think maybe a Dominic, and then maybe and then maybe you get Cody to span off that way. I think I only see him fighting against other members of the Judgment Day at the moment, unless they completely switch it, like he says with the Royal Rumble, have him in the Rumble again. But it's a bit difficult for him because like it's difficult to put him in the Roman match. I honestly see him winning the World Heavyweight and not the Undisputed. I think the way the building Roman, I think Roman's gonna keep it for a while. I don't think he's gonna lose this current WrestleMania. I think it'll be, if anything, it'll be WrestleMania after he's been the longest reigning.
Oh, the UK one.
We hope.
Is he going to lose the title at Bash in Berlin? Who knows?
We even show up to Bash in Berlin.
It's really hard with this one as well too. I totally get what you're saying. Reese, what's your thoughts on this one?
I can't stand this match. There's not many winning situations in this match whatsoever. I feel like Damian could be having far better matches on this card, seeing as though he's one half of the tag champs. I wouldn't mind seeing that like at all. I think with the whole Cody Rhodes thing, it's the most white meat cookie cutter baby face run I've seen since Super Cena, and I'm not even exaggerating. It is so frustrating to watch.
I feel bad wearing my t-shirt now, but okay.
He gets taken out early in the night, and then he shows up hobbling to the ring and manages to take out 30 people, and it's just like, oh, come on, stop. For God's sake, it's so annoying. And this whole finishing the story thing, do you know what? I was actually I was all right with it in 2022 when he did that promo, when he came into the ring and he was talking about Dusty Rhodes, about how his father never held the title. And, you know, he asked him why he had the picture of it, you know, etc. And I was down with it then. And they've ruined it, because I would have been all right with Cody beating Roman at WrestleMania. I didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, we were there.
I didn't want it to happen, but it made sense in April. It made sense. Like, he was finishing the story. But when they didn't pull the trigger on it, move on. Because you have got Cody Rhodes stuck on Raw, stuck in just purgatory of like storytelling, and it's your fault. It's their own fault. The writers have like wrote themselves into a corner. And if Cody Rhodes has anything to do with that writing, he's done it to himself. Like, let's just bring up some examples. The draft. You could have easily got him on SmackDown in the draft. Yeah. Like you just said with the tag team division. You could have got him onto SmackDown for that. You could have traded Jey Uso for Cody Rhodes. 3 opportunities to get him onto SmackDown, and you haven't done it. Yeah. But let's talk about the most glaring, obvious feud that Cody Rhodes could have had on Raw, and it's staring you in the face. How have we not got Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the world title?
I know.
Yeah.
How?
I also don't get how we haven't had Cody Rhodes versus Gunther because of the Royal Rumble. That's literally been staring at us since Rumble.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with like the Seth Rollins thing for me. He was the first person who he faced when he came back to the company. Dope. He had those trio of matches with him when they came back. Dope. Yeah. In kayfabe, he was the one. Seth was the one who took out Cody, and now Seth is the champion. And you're not giving him an opportunity to beat Seth for that championship. Finishing the story. There's another story to be told there. Forget about the Roman Reigns one. I don't care about that anymore. I don't care.
And that's coming from the biggest Roman fan that you are, honestly.
Yeah. Like I say, I would have made sense to me at WrestleMania this year, but it didn't happen, so move on. It's got to be Seth Rollins or Jey Uso. If it's anyone else, it's like either, okay, you know, tell me a story, or it's weird. But for me, Cody Rhodes has just been the most unlikable babyface I've seen in so long. It's just the most irritating part of Monday Night Raw every single time I see him, because whenever he comes on screen, either he talks about gathering all the faces around him and going, well, why don't we just have a tag team match? You know, like we did 5 weeks in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care, Cody. I do not care. Or he gets in a suit and, like what Court said, comes out and says the exact same thing every single week. Literally, I cannot stress to you how little I care about Cody Rhodes anymore. Like, exactly. I honestly see the crowd turning on him like they did to Cena back in like 06, 07.
But I'm just gonna put this out here. They have the perfect way to book Cody Rhodes as a heel turn and do a legitimate heel storyline. He's now in WWE, right? What were several of major WWE's talent that came from the black and gold era called? They were referred to as Dusty's kids. You have Dusty's legitimate son have aggression and anger to all of the Dusty kids, and do a whole storyline on that, being like, I'm not going to finish my story. I'm going to create a new one of destroying all the kids that got better attention from Dustin Rhodes than his own son did. Like, Cody Rhodes.
You could make the argument that he's trying to finish his father's story by winning the Undisputed title.
Yeah, that needs to be his story. Yeah.
You could even turn him heel by making him like a justified arsehole by going, that was my father's story. This is my story.
Yeah.
Exactly. I also think one feud that we're actually really forgetting about, and this is also dependent on if this person does return, and I have said this before and I will say it again, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. There is a story there. There is a way that you can tell it, whether it's, you know, Randy comes back and he's like, look, man, I was taken out. I had a tag team partner. I don't know what to do. Do you want to be my tag team partner like old times? Work with him. And then Randy or Cody, vice versa, whoever it is, turns on the other person. And then we get this feud. And then we eventually get Cody going for the title at Mania. That is a perfect feud, like for between Royal Rumble and Mania season. If you wanted to have that at Elimination Chamber, please do, because I'm going to be there. So
listen, it writes itself. It writes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, honestly, that could work the other way around. It writes itself. Seth Rollins gets defeated by Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight title. Randy Orton's music hits, I want you at WrestleMania.
And another one that we're also forgetting, if this person does actually come, is Cody and CM Punk.
No.
We're having
No.
that.
Nah.
Yay.
No.
Nah.
AEW had the chance.
Guys,
to do
everyone's
it.
turning on me. What the hell?
Well,
I'm
like,
giving you
to
World
go-
Heavyweight
to
Champion.
go
You
back
can't
to
do
the-
that to me.
To go back to the question that you asked me ages ago, but I went on a little tirade because I feel like I needed to talk about the whole Cody thing because I've not had a chance to talk about it on the podcast. I'm going for Cody Rhodes in this match because, like I say, he's being booked super Cena style lately, and without like a lot of interference, I don't see Damian beating him. I would love for Damian to beat him, but I have a feeling there's going to be like a cash-in attempt later, so he can redeem himself.
Yeah.
But I see Cody beating Damian. I do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I see Cody doing this because we had the exact same thing with Cody and Brock. You know, Brock injured Cody, but Cody came out on top. It's very super Cena, as you say. It's very cookie cutter. I'm going to prove myself against everybody until I get back to where I need to be. I think if Damian loses, there will be some form of, all right, let's try and fix this, remedy this situation because Mommy's going to kick my ass if I don't, during the card anyway. I also heard them saying on Monday Night Raw, I don't know if it was this week or a couple of weeks ago, but Cody's been dealing with the Judgment Day since WrestleMania.
Wow.
And it hit me. And I was like, dude, we're in November. We're almost 5 months away from Mania. And you're still dealing with like chapter 1 of your story pre-losing the title? Like, or like,
I
not being able to
want
win
to
it.
see him win the
That's
Rumble. I
7
don't want to
months.
see him win the Chamber. I don't want to see him in the main event of WrestleMania for any title. But if it has to be one, it needs to be Seth Rollins.
I feel like there's a much better story to tell with him and Seth than there is with.
There is so much better. He's the one who took him out. He's the reason why he was out for a year. Why are we still talking about Roman? Seth is right there. But like, face him, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's like he's just forgiven him. It's like he's like, oh yeah,
it's got like amnesia or something.
Right off my bone, but hi Seth, because we're both baby faces now, it's all forgiven.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that. It's stupid. Book it.
I feel like this conversation could go on for a very long time. I honestly feel like we could dedicate an entire episode to this. I feel like if we ever do one where we're doing early predictions for Mania, this is definitely a conversation that is going to get brought up. So I feel like let's move on to something a little bit more lighthearted. Let's move on to Rey Mysterio defending his United States Championship against Logan Paul. G, what are your thoughts?
Logan Paul haunts all of my TikToks. Whenever I do a TikTok, Logan Paul always turns up in them, and
he's just got a thing for you, man.
Oh, you need to stop. Anyway, I've got Logan Paul winning.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I also have Logan Paul winning, but the reason being is LWO try and save Rey Mysterio or get involved, and this is where we start seeing the cracks in the LWO form.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let's put it this way. Carlito's just joined.
He's just come back.
Carlito hasn't worn an LWO shirt the whole time he's been there. He took ages to come and help Ray. He looked awkward when he stood with the group. I don't know, man. I feel like Carlito will try and be like, Ray, I'm here to help. This time I'm faster. And he'll screw Ray out of it.
Drives down on a golf cart like Bianca and Bailey.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
If not Carlito, I see Santos going and helping him, and Santos cuts Ray.
Well, look what happened when Ray got attacked by Logan Paul backstage. And then they sent Carlito to help, and he never got there. And Santos lost because he was attacked.
Santos was like, why didn't you send me?
Yeah, exactly. So there's already cracks forming. This will be the make or break now. You make Ray lose a belt, you're going to have them all being like, well, who do we blame? So, I see Logan winning this.
Yeah. I see Logan.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think the cracks are starting to form, if you think about it, because I think realistically it makes sense for Santos to turn. Because if you think about it, Ray's coming, he's coming to the LW, he's brought it back, fantastic. But Santos was champion before all of this. And now Ray has got the title and is parading the title. So I could sort of see it as like Santos being like, why can't I be the leader of the LWO? Like, why can't I lead this new group through myself?
Yeah.
And I think with Carlito coming back into it, it sort of plays to that. Maybe he's in his ear, maybe saying like, well, we could do this forward. And with Logan Paul coming into this, kind of makes sense. You have Logan win, you have him parade around the title, make it all for WWE screens for the new with the pay-per-views. Like he says, you got an Elimination Chamber coming up. Sell tickets for Elimination Chamber. It probably won't be difficult to sell tickets for that anyways, but you sort of bring it into that way. And with the whole Ray being champion, it's kind of been a bit boring for me now. Like, there's no actual like storyline for Ray to feed into like he could do. And I think you have Logan just take the title, and then you just have it later down the line where he loses it to someone. Ricochet is a perfect person to do it, especially with how he's been teasing his wife. Obviously.
Logan teasing his fiance.
Fiance. Yeah, sorry.
I can't remember her name now.
I can't remember. Samantha. Yeah, but he keeps messing with her. And wouldn't it be like the perfect story where, like, obviously Logan's champion, you build up maybe up to a WrestleMania, and Ricochet takes the title from him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So you could build that there. But yeah, no, I have Logan winning as well.
Reese, what are your thoughts?
I agree with everything you've just said about LWO, all of yous, which is why I do have Logan. But I also have him for a different reason. It's just the simple fact of like publicity. Like you could argue that Logan Paul is probably one of the biggest stars that they've got in the company, and it would make sense to have him on his podcast, like walking around with the title. Obviously, when he goes into the boxing ring, if he does, like you probably take that with him because he wasn't afraid to mention WWE in his entrance and after the boxing fight. It's publicity, and it just makes sense to put a championship on a guy like Logan. Not to mention the fact that he can go in the ring, and for me, he's probably the best celebrity crossover that they've ever had, and he's actually got beef, like you say, with people like Ricochet on that roster. It would make sense to pull the trigger on an LWO heel turn at this point. That might mean we've got too many heel factions, but it is what it is. I like seeing Carlito in a heel light because he's bad as a babyface. I've never liked Carlito when he's been a babyface. I always think he's better when he's a heel because he's just
his whole gimmick just oozes a heel anyway.
Yeah, he's an arsehole.
A nice person doesn't spit in the face of people who want to be cool.
Exactly. He's an arsehole. It's a bit like Randy. Randy doesn't suit me in the face. Like he's an arsehole.
The stuff he did with Matt Riddle was kind of facey then, and it was so good.
It was good, but it was because of the comic relief of Riddle. Like,
it was like the friend, the out there wacky friend, and you've kind of convinced me to do it, friend.
Yeah. It's like the golden retriever and the black cat. It's kind of
literally that was them. Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, Logan Paul for me, 100% for all the reasons what you guys have just said. Plus
I'm
the publicity.
very shocked at all your predictions because I actually thought I'd be the only one picking Logan.
Oh no! As soon as he mentioned he was coming back to face Rey Mysterio, I was like, he's beating Rey for that title.
Yeah. I feel the exact same way everyone else does. I'm going with Logan. The publicity that you would get from that, you can wear the belt on red carpets. You can go on like Jimmy Fallon. You can go on all these shows with it. You can plug it. He did say in one of his promos that he is now actually a free agent. So he could show up on any brand with that title as well too. And don't forget, because I mentioned this in my TikTok predictions, which I'll be posting tomorrow, don't forget we had that tease with him and LA Knight the day before Money in the Bank. That is your perfect WrestleMania feud. The mega star versus the social media star. And that is how, if LA Knight doesn't come out victorious, he can still reclaim that at some point in time as well too. There are so many good feuds you could have right now if you were to bring Logan in. And I 100% agree with you. I think him and Bad Bunny in terms of celebrity crossover have been the best. But I personally think Logan more just because he has that raw athleticism. He actually wants to do it as well too. He wants to learn. And yes, a lot of people do say, well, you were trained by Shawn Michaels and Hurricane Shane Helms. But it's like, at the end of the day, they can only push you so far. You actually have to put that work in to be able to be good. And I think he's done that. He's proved a lot of the naysayers wrong in terms of people were like, Logan Paul's coming in. He's just going to get all these opportunities. He's just going to do everything that people tell him to, blah, blah, blah. But he's actually proven them wrong. And as you say, he's got genuine heat with people in there. And don't forget, he won that match against Ricochet with the brass knuckles as well, too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came into play at Crown Jewel this weekend as well.
He does have that natural talent, and it's one of those things where, like, you can say whatever you want about who's trained you and this and that and the other, but, like, you know, even Marie was trained by Brian Kendrick, and that's
Don't
the less said about that.
Don't you dare, Reese.
So what? Sorry, what were you going to say, Reese?
I was just going to say she's terrible, so it doesn't matter who trained you.
Reese also, trained by Brian Kendrick. That aged poorly.
Yeah. But Logan, he does have that natural athleticism, man. Like, I mean, arguably he does a better buckshot lariat than Adam. Like, you know what I mean? Than Paige.
No.
Don't you start this argument? It's not going to end well for you with Ross in the chat. It's not.
He does better than Punk. He does better than Punk's one, but he don't do better than fucking Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, because Punk lands on his ass when he does it.
Right, anyway.
I like Logan better.
Okay, right. Let's move into. I feel like we've spoken quite a lot about the men's side of things. So let's jump into one of the women's matches. So you have Bianca Belair challenging Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. Gee, what do you think?
Mama, against the world.
And probably with your prediction as well, too.
Yeah.
I'm bored of Io. I'm not going to lie. I'm bored. She's doing nothing. She kind of feels like the sideline in Damage Control. Bailey seems to be taking over. She's always pushed to the side. I'm fed up for looking at her. I'm fed up for Damage Control.
I'm getting flashbacks from Stu from last week about the 4 Horsewomen. I'm getting flashbacks. Gee, don't do this to me. Come on.
Hey, yo.
She's not doing anything. And
Leave us Rhea! Leave her as Rhea!
Yeah, and I'll get to that when we get to that match as well. These women's champions need to be doing more shit.
Keaton, this is a regular thing. This is not just predictions. This is
I was gonna say.
They need to follow the example of like great champions like Roman Reigns. Like, you know, they need
Shut
to
up,
do
Reese.
Oh, a non-defending, non-showing up champion. That's fabulous.
It was blurred as well, so you can.
Yeah, I know. I'll do it like I have to do it in front of my face. Like,
look, she's done nothing with the belt. Whenever Damage Control show up, it's always Bailey doing something, and Io's kind of just stood there, and Bailey's taken over. And I want Bailey to be the one to take the belt off Io, but I'm that bored that my favourite's back, Bianca to win. I don't care.
All right, Ross, can you save this discussion, please?
Yeah. So Io to retain, because you can't say someone isn't doing a feud and not doing anything with the belt when you give it like no time to build. She's had the belt only a few months now. You need to actually give her some long-lasting feuds. Putting Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair is doing literally the reverse of what everyone wants to happen, because you just rinse and repeating same old feuds. Do what Becky was doing. Pick up the women that haven't had the opportunities and put them against Io. Do you want to know a perfect match you have literally been sitting on this whole time? Candice LeRae versus Io. They had a rivalry in NXT.
They're on different brands.
Doesn't matter at this point. You start breaking the freaking rules again, having these one-off matches to actually do things. The whole thing with Becky. Becky was pulling people from across the whole freaking roster of NXT and Raw. Yeah. Why can't Io do the same? Go, I'm bored of the challengers here. Let me call someone or open challenge to the whole of the roster. Give opportunities that way. Yeah. And I'm calling it now. There is one particular name that in the news this week. She is now internally on the roster page. Perfect person after she wins the feud against Bianca. Have your Kairi Sane rock up and be like, yo, we've got unfinished business. Let's have a look.
Is she on the roster now?
At her internally. We haven't. This is like Sean Ross Sapp and everyone has said internally.
I feel
shown
I
up.
feel like I wasn't going to mention it because I didn't know where they were at with it, but I feel like they are waiting for her to turn up for EO.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the EO versus Kairi Zane feud is an easy 3 matches. You can easily do that like triple match scenario with each stipulation getting more and more.
That is probably why they have been feeding her multiple of the same people, because they're waiting for her to come.
Yeah, well, don't forget we spoke about the triple threat that could happen at Mania. You know, you've got Asuka, Io, and Kairi.
Yeah. And this is the other thing. You've kind of just forgot about Asuka again. I'm not being funny. The best person to have in these scenarios, if you're going to constantly rinse and repeat the matches, is Asuka, because Asuka has the longest history with Io. They have literally years of rivalry, years of being a team.
Michael Cole referenced it on commentary.
Triple tails.
Exactly. Like they were a whole faction in Japan. It was literally Asuka, Io, and Io's sister. And I don't get how you're not constantly having the student versus the master, because Asuka was in WWE before Io was. You constantly play into that until Kairi Sane then gets involved. Because then you've got Io and Kairi were friends, but also look at Kairi and Asuka. Where does Kairi realign with?
Yeah.
You build these things up. For me, I think throwing Bianca straight back into the title picture is a disservice to her. I feel like the true rivalry she should have gone for was calling out Bayley, because your leader of Damage Control was the reason you got took out a commission, not the champion. Just because the champion cashed in on you, she wasn't the one who went, oh, let's jump Bianca backstage. Who was the one to say that? Bayley. Easy enough, you could have done Bianca versus Bayley, non-title match, and have Bianca over to get done with this Damage Control story and start looking at other people to fight.
I'll tell you what we need. We need Ding Dong back.
I actually really enjoyed that from Bayley.
Ding Dong, hello.
But yeah, that's my rant over of how you need to book EO better, and how you need to, also not rinse and repeat, put people in the same title picture.
Yeah, I think the rinsing and repeating is just because they're waiting. I think once they've got these people ready to go, I think the feuds will be so much better, and we'll see less of the same people in matches. But I just think it's solely a timing thing.
And I think with Dakota getting injured as well doesn't help at all.
She's not going to be cleared until at least January. So which sucks.
It does suck. It does.
If she doesn't make it to Chamber, I'll be very heartbroken. But
I think she'll be there. Yeah,
I feel like she'll still have some involvement.
I hope so. Anyway, Keaton, how are you feeling about this match?
Yeah, it feels like they've literally Bianca's just come back and they've just pushed her straight in just to make a title at the pay-per-view. For me, I think you've been saying, I think it would make so much more sense them doing Bianca and Bayley.
Yeah.
I think with Io at the moment, she needs to. I think it'd be so much of a better feud. I know, like you're waiting on the Kairi saying, but to build it with Asuka. And I feel like they try to make Asuka, the way with Shinsuke, with the whole like promos in Japanese and stuff like that, because it went so well with Shinsuke. They're trying to do the exact same thing with Asuka. It's not hitting the same because it's not. They're sort of like putting other people in the way of that. I think if they solely focused on Io and Asuka, it'd be money. It'd literally be money. It's just waiting for it to happen. But I don't think they want to pull the trigger because they're waiting on Kairi. I think they probably had stuff planned with the whole of Damage Control, maybe taking the tag titles as well and being that like women's
that like super
action.
group.
Yeah, that super group.
Women holding all the gold style. Yeah,
they had that opportunity last year too, though, because I mean Dakota and Io had the titles, and then they didn't take the title off Bianca. They had that opportunity.
Yeah. And I think they just wanted to do that because they was waiting on Bianca. Didn't she become like longest reigning?
Yeah.
And I think they were just waiting because of that, and I didn't want to take it from her.
And now shortest reigning.
Yeah.
we don't talk about that.
A Bianca sandwich. You got the top and the bottom.
First you need your longest, then you need your small short.
Yeah, and I feel like obviously the
The
Keep
Bianca
going, keep going. I just don't know why you said that, but anyway.
yeah. And I think, don't get me wrong, I know they're playing all the whole teasing thing of Bailey turning on her and stuff like that. But if you was going to pull that trigger, you would have pulled that long time ago. I think it makes no sense now for him to attempt to pull and make the storyline of Io and Bailey. It makes no sense. So going off that, I have Io beating Bianca, no problem. I think they're going to build Bianca somewhere else in a different direction.
Yeah.
Maybe against Bailey, if not, maybe against Charlotte, potentially.
Yeah. I think with Bianca, she's got a couple of different ways that she could go. I think they were at some point going for Bianca Charlotte for Mania, because that's the last horsewoman that she needs to beat to be able to say that she has beaten all four. But now that we have the addition of Jade Cargill to the roster, I'm actually eyeing up that more for WrestleMania. I feel like that's so much better of a better idea.
Forgot about Jade.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about Jade.
Yeah,
How can you completely forget about it? She's showing up everywhere.
No, that's true, and that's annoying me as well. The fact that they're just like saying like they're putting like a little like picture of her or a little video in like different brands, and I'm like,
literally,
just make it already. Just
stop teasing me.
Yeah.
She's literally showing up everywhere, man. She knocked on my front door this morning, challenging me. like she every single where, like where she's gonna show up.
Did you say to her, I didn't realize this was an open mic night? When you opened the door, did you just go, or did you say ding dong hello?
It was
I was like ding dong hello. This is such a nothing burger of a match. It really is. It's like the proper like Charlotte Flair Bianca into this match, and we don't need another Charlotte Flair. I was like, oh dear, we have Bianca just showing up and getting a title match. I don't care about Bianca Belair at the moment because although it was her decision because she said she was a role model for the kids, who cares? Get over it. Turn heel. Join the Hurt Business or whatever you want to call it now, because your character is dead and stagnant. And,
stop putting yourself into that same position that we've seen online.
Like a dead fish on the beach has got more life than your character right now. And Io, like you say, like everything about Io Sky, what you've said about her is absolutely correct. You've got a feud waiting for her, which is Kairi Sane or maybe Jade Cargill. I don't know. I don't want to see that, but you never know.
Io versus Jade, the height difference and everything, man.
It'd be sick.
David versus Goliath.
I just think that Io's done nothing with the title. You could say the same for Rhea, I suppose, but at least Rhea's in a decent storyline, whereas Io and the rest of Damage Control do nothing for me at the moment.
I agree.
I think Damage Control is way past its sell-by date. I think it should have broken up by now. They had the opportunity to do what we were saying before last year, where Bailey should have beat Bianca, in my opinion. Don't care about the longest reigning thing. If it suits the story, then take the title off the person. And it did then. You wanted to bring back a strong faction, so give the person, the leader of that faction, a title. It made Bailey look like a cook while the other two were holding the tag team titles. It made no sense. Bailey is clearly the weak link in Damage Control because she's done nothing for them. They've done all the work. They were like 2-3-time women's tag team champions while she was doing nothing. For me, I think Io is going to retain due to shenanigans, but I honestly, I could not care less either way. Like I couldn't. Like I'm not invested in this women's feud at all. I'm not invested in Bianca Belair. Io Sky needs to do more for me as champion. She's been overshadowed by Bailey, Charlotte, everyone to this point. And I think that it's not her fault. She hasn't had time to shine at all. It's not her fault. But as championship reigns go, it's probably sometimes I actually forget she's women's champion. I'm not even joking. Like that's like I do forget that she's women's champion, which is a shame. It's a major shame because I was buzzing for her when she won it at SummerSlam. I really was. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I think Io's going to win, but I couldn't care less.
I think you've said it perfectly. You've literally taken the words out of my mouth. I'm going to keep my prediction short because I've got a little bit else to say. Io's going to win down to disruptions and interferences by Damage Control. I think that's what's going to happen. Bianca Belair, really honestly, I think she had the perfect opportunity to actually come back as an anti-hero, very similar to how Becky Lynch initially turned heel in 2018. You know, Becky had justifiable reason to be upset and to kind of amplify her attitude a little bit more. Bianca's the exact same. She's got genuine reasons to be upset. She doesn't have to be like a Randy Orton style heel. She can sit in between. She can amp it up when she needs to, or she can be a little bit more of a baby face when she needs to.
Well, look at Drew right now. Drew now is doing exactly what Bianca should be doing.
Yes, exactly. And I honestly think this whole thing of damage control, the way in my mind it should have gone is it should have started at SummerSlam, gone all the way through, and then obviously you had Io and Dakota as champions. They could have gotten upset with Bayley because Bayley could have cost them the tag titles, or Bayley didn't, she failed to get the Raw Women's Championship how many times. Perfect way you could have done this. Instead of having that 6-woman tag at WrestleMania this year, you could have just done a triple threat with all 3 of them. You didn't need to have Trish, Lita, and Becky in a 6-woman tag match. You could have used that opportunity because all 3 of the Damage Control members were healthy and were in fighting form at that point in time and could have actually just done something together.
But we also have the point. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just don't get why we couldn't have done it then.
Yeah, but we also had the point at Money in the Bank where when Io won, she stopped Bayley from winning, where Bayley could have turned on her at that point as well.
Yeah. Exactly. And as you say, I do think Bayley is the one that's causing all these issues for Io, and Io is very much like, I do know how to defend myself. I can take care of this. I was an NXT Women's Champion at one point in time.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with the women's booking, it is a little bit more lackluster than the men's, and it's not their fault. They're simply just given the creative and told what they need to do.
Yeah.
But I do think that we need to start seeing the champions more in the picture, more on TV. They need to actually start being treated like proper champions, because we see Seth Rollins on TV every single week. We see Roman when he decides to clock in for a shift. You know what I mean? Like, we're actually being shown that these champions are dominant, and they're continuing to feel like they're actually there and present. Whereas with the women, it's kind of just like, well, let's put Charlotte Flair in. Okay, goodbye, Ross. Let's put Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in the picture, and let's just forget about our champions. Like, there are so many greater issues with that women's division, and I truly think we could dedicate a full episode to being like, what the hell are you doing?
100%.
It just annoys me. And I very much feel as though WWE heard us a couple of weeks ago, when we said we need another women's match on the card, and just plopped this one in just for the sake of it.
I'm all for women's matches, like more women's matches, but I would rather see less if you're going to give us a nothing match.
It's always, for me, I always want quality over quantity.
Exactly. Like,
I want you to tell me a good story with good
if there is
people,
if there is only one women's match on the card, if it's a great story, I don't mind that. But if you're just going to throw women's matches on the card for the sake of, we're going to criticize for not having enough women on the card, then that's just as bad as having not enough women on the card.
Well, like this is where my kind of annoyance was. Like, you give Becky this amazing NXT run where she constantly elevated, brought new talent in, built a whole story of, women aren't being looked at right now. I'll make that my agenda as also a champion and defend it against anyone and anyone who wants an opportunity. And it just feels ridiculous that the developmental belt had so much better like storyline and writing than your actual 2 main roster biggest champions right now. Like, as you perfectly said there, I'm all for women's matches as long as the story fits. Like, Bianca and Io isn't the storyline that needs to fit this part. Bianca has rivalry with Bayley. Io has other opportunities and other people she would prefer to probably wrestle right now. Like, there's several other people on SmackDown that would happily have an opportunity to go against Io. And they're just not doing it.
I think it's with both of these women, I think it's a case of they have greater storylines and greater feuds to be told at a later date. They're just waiting for timing to work out, I think, is honestly just how it is.
Here's a huge one for me. Why is Shotzi not called out Io for the belt yet? Because remember, who was the one that made Shotzi completely lose her hair? Io and Bayley. Go for it. Get Shotzi involved. That's a whole new face. That's a whole new challenger.
Right, I think we've spoken enough on this.
Yeah, let's move on to another one. That
Were you going to say something, Keaton?
No.
You
Go on,
sure?
yeah, move on. Yeah, sorry.
Let's move on to one that
You've
Reese.
got something to say.
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, I haven't. I was drinking water, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another one that Reese is going to have a lot to say about. It's Solo Sikoa going up against John Cena.
Go on, Ross.
Is that your answer?
It's an easy answer. It's Cena's win. Like, I'm sorry, Solo is gonna be Solo, but Jimmy's gonna fuck him up. Like, Jimmy's gonna ruin it for Solo. Jimmy's gonna run out, and be like, "Oh, Roman told me the play. I'm gonna come help Solo out," and then it's gonna be Jimmy goes for the drop kick, like, and accidentally hits freaking Solo, and then John Cena will hit the FU, and it'll be a 1-2-3. Like, they can't. The whole reason I'm saying this, you can't make the whole big stats and statistics of, I've not won a singles match in this many days. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna retire, and then the audience being like, "You've still got it," and he's like, "Okay, yeah, no, I believe you guys. I believe in myself." You can't then make him lose, because then he'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, no, I am a letdown now. Cool, guys, I'm out." Like, that's just me.
So you're going for John Cena on this one?
Yeah, 100% Cena.
Okay. G, do you share the same sentiment?
No, obviously I think Solo's gonna win.
She's like, no.
No.
Love that.
Solo's gonna hit Cena with that spike, and Cena's gonna bugger off back to Hollywood.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's all I've got to say.
For me, it's like you're sort of playing it as like Cena's retirement tour, and there's no way you can have him lose a crown jewel. I love Solo. I think Solo is the future of the bloodline. No problem at all. But I just think in this scenario, like I said, I think something's going to happen that's going to cause Solo to lose it. Maybe Jimmy coming out. Maybe Jay interfering as well if he's around. If Jimmy comes down initially. But yeah, especially after seeing Cena Money in the Bank. Like I've never been an all-in Cena in my life. Never. But after seeing it like Money in the Bank, it just switched. And then I just want this like the fantasy tour, like have him like have his last hurrah before he goes back to Hollywood forever, because he ain't coming back. Let's be real now. Like as soon as he goes, he's not coming back ever again. So, but yeah, I have seen him winning.
Let's hold him around till Elimination Chamber at least. Though.
I'm saying you can't hold him all the way to WrestleMania for UK. You can't turn around and be like, "Yo, you want a WrestleMania in the UK?" Using John Cena to promote it. You got to put him on the Mania.
You also can't tease a feud with Grayson Waller and not
do it. Waller, mate.
Grayson Waller, mate. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Reese, how are you feeling? Have you said enough today, or have you got more that you want?
No, I've got more.
Reese has never said enough.
I've got more in the shotty tank. Don't worry. So,
taking care of business.
I'm about to take care of some business. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you're all talking about Cena's retirement tour. I'm like, the one rule of wrestling is to go out on your back, dude. Like, put over someone as you go out. Like, Undertaker did it. Like, that is the biggest example. Even Undertaker, like, did it for, like, Roman. And that was, like, his proper retirement match. He had the match with AJ, but AJ didn't lose anything from losing that match. I think this is part of the bigger story for me, to be honest. And I do think Cena might be sticking around a little bit longer, because I would quite like his last match to be against Randy. I think that would be really cool. I'd quite like to see Cena versus Randy at Mania. I think that should be Cena's retirement match if he's going to retire. But you're also in a precarious position here where Solo... I love Solo to bits, and I like what Keaton just said. I've made many videos on how I think Solo should be the leader of the bloodline in the future. Once Roman loses that belt, he needs to destroy Roman, establish himself as a new big heel. Maybe Paul goes with him. But lately, he's been losing some high fixture matches, like against LA Knight. He lost
high profile matches. You mean like
what?
Do you mean like high profile matches, kind of?
Yeah. He lost one to LA Knight. He lost one to Cody before Mania. Like he's lost a few after being undefeated for so long. So I think to establish him again as the enforcer of the bloodline and to really put himself back in that position, because Roman's not really come down on him, seeing as though Solo's not really been like pulling his weight lately. Like I think that Solo needs to beat Cena. Cena doesn't lose anything here by losing this match. Like if Cena loses his match at the end of the day, he's still John Cena. He's not going to lose any stock. He's not going to lose his value to the company. He could show up whenever he wants, and he'd probably get the loudest pop of the night. Like it's not going to do him any damage. It could do Solo all the good in the world though by losing this by winning this match. Sorry, by beating Cena, this could do his career wonders, especially going into Survivor Series, whether they're doing a War Games match where they're doing like a 5-on-5. I think Solo gains way more out of this. So I'm definitely going with Solo's core, and that's not because I love him. Yeah. It's because I think it's the right decision to make.
Yeah, it makes the most sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just bloodline bias, dude. That's what it really is.
We're the ones.
Hey, look, he did say he was taking care of business. Yeah, did you not know that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's betting on himself. Yeah, he's betting on himself.
Yeah,
he's not Johnny Gargano by doing that. I totally agree with Reese. With the whole sentiment of if you are going to retire, you need to put someone over kind of thing. I totally agree with that. I would have loved to see if John Cena was retiring, his last feud be with Edge, but obviously we can't have that anymore. So I think Randy's the best way to go. I do think that Solo has a lot more to lose in terms of progression and, working his way up and actually showing himself as the enforcer if he is to lose against John Cena. I do think this will do him the world of good if he is to win it, because it would really re-solidify himself in the bloodline, showing that, hey, I actually can handle my business when I can, when I need to, and to show that he's not really in terms of agreeing with what Jimmy's doing by Jimmy calling his own shots.
Yeah, so I've got some just to add to that as well, Court, what you've just said there, I'd actually quite like to have, probably not going to happen. I would actually quite like Solo to beat Cena clean as well. But no interference from Jimmy.
I've seen a lot of people say the similarities for this match is very similar to when John Cena went up against Umaga. Well.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. And when Cena did the promo on Friday, I really thought he was going to bring up the 2006, 2007 feud he had with Umaga. Like he mentioned, I fought your uncle, and I took him down, or something like that, and I can take you down as well. I don't know why he didn't bring up Umaga. I thought, obviously the similarity is obviously Solo goes for that. He pays homage to Umaga by doing the moves that he does.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there on a golden platter. Cena versus Umaga happened about 16 years ago. Bring it up. I don't know. But yeah,
I think there's still time for them to bring it up though. They've got one more SmackDown before Crown Jewel. I think it's definitely it definitely could get referenced even if it's by commentary.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, okay. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. And it'd be pretty dope. If Solo maybe came out with Samoa, painted on his stomach. Or
that would be cool.
A homage to him.
That would be cool.
Or does the traditional war paint that?
That would be cool.
Yeah. I think that would be really. Or where's the beads? Maybe I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
You've got to pay tribute to him in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Just to add to the bloodline stuff. Recently, 3 of the bloodline members asked for their release from MLW.
Mm-hmm.
And MLW doesn't have a 30-day non-compete clause, so who knows? WWE could just be a quick phone call and be like, "Hey, can you just do this quick spot for us?"
Yeah, come to Saudi, we'll pay you.
Release? Who's asked for it?
Both the
tag champs.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jacob Fatu also asked for his, and Zilla's also just been released from one of his contracts.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So there is a
few of them floating around.
For additional bloodline members to rock up.
Yeah, there's some of them floating around.
Yeah,
anyway,
moving on.
Too much bloodline conversation. Let's move on to some mommy business.
You can never have
you've got Rhea Ripley taking on Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship. Ross?
Do you want to be an agent of chaos?
Are you gonna
Well,
say
I mean, it's not going to stop you anyway. You just.
In a realistic world, Rhea retains this because Judgment Day shenanigans, Dominic distracting, other Judgment Day distracting, Rhea will get that quick, cheap, easy win. What I actually want to happen is either a Zoe Stark or a Shayna Baszler to win. I feel like those are two definite future women of conversations to have. Shayna has already proven herself to be a definite strong champion when she did her NXT reign. It was arguably one of the coolest versions of Shayna we got to see. So I'd love to see kind of that reincorporated into the main roster. And I think Zoe Stark's just proved she can hang with the big leagues, especially when she had this whole thing with Trish and then just went like, I'm going to turn on Trish now. So Rhea's going to retain, but I wouldn't be mad if Zoe or Shayna shock won. But also I have the fear that Nia Jax is just going to win because Nia Jax.
No.
Thank you, Keaton, for saying it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No, I don't want it. Look, right, I didn't even want Nia Jax to be returned to the company. But
let's not talk about Nia Jax.
Let's not get into that conversation because it's going to get very bad very quickly.
You wear Nia Jax PJs, whatever. Lies.
Since I'm not like most girls. All right.
We need a print of that now. No, but on a real, like, I don't know. I just always had the fear when they bring back a talent, they always end up being like, oh, we've just had you return. Here you go. Here's the championship.
Yeah.
Wait, so what was your answer?
Rhea to retain. I was saying all outcomes in this match. There are two people that like wouldn't be upset winning, which is Zoe Stark and Shayna, and Rhea retain is what I think is actually going to happen.
Yeah. You literally said every name apart from Raquel. Like you went around all the houses.
Like, I'm sorry, Raquel's not in the conversation.
Oh,
interesting.
G.
Poor Raquel.
Poor Raquel.
G, how do you feel?
Nia Jax to win.
She's like we're friends, you know. If we talk like that's gonna disappear real quick.
That's blasphemy.
I can't. No.
Do I even?
No, I'm joking.
No, but she's not joking though, because she kept it going for too long.
I know, right? The irresistible force.
Listen, I'm just not like most girls. No, I can't see any other way than Rhea retaining. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. Even though I would like Shayna, I think Shayna would be the right move, but they're not going to do that. Rhea's just. I think they're either building to Rhea, Becky, or if not Rhea, Jade. It's either one of the two, I think. I think I think like it makes sense if Jade made an appearance at Crown Jewel after the match.
Yeah.
If they wanted to push that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're just gonna have Rhea beat all of them and come out and say, "Look, I've beat every single person. Look, I need a new challenger," and then bang.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reese.
It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if Nia won. I think
this is my point.
I think, to be honest, if Vince was still in the charge, he'd be like he'd be foaming at the mouth to put the title on.
And he is in Saudi, just like to let you know.
Yeah, he's like, "Damn it, Trips, put the title on Nia."
No, don't do it.
And then Triple H goes, "No, Mommy's on top."
No. Right. Honestly, though, I don't.
Why am I the only serious one here?
No, we're being serious.
And I'm the only one that's losing the plot.
God damn it, Trips! Put the title on Nia, Trips. You know how much I paid for a contract, Trips?
Outcastedoc see his corpse in sent for the man.
Sometimes I really question my alliance with you guys.
He's like, Vince, that's not the plan. And he goes, new plan, Trips. We put the title on Nia for 7 years, Trips.
Yuck. No.
I can see money in the sky.
Those are
Nia
clouds,
Jax.
Vince. Those are clouds in the sky.
Nia Jax versus Roman Reigns, Trips. Unification match.
Please shut up, please.
Guys, you know I'm a laughing, giggling kind of gal. I've been too serious for too long. Stop with this
It's
BS.
nightmare worthy.
Oh, it's gonna like ruin my sleep tonight.
If Nia Jax wins, right? If Nia Jax wins, yeah, we could have Nia Jax versus Natalia.
Oh yes. Yes. Let's do it.
A part of me just died into like I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
I'll see you around.
Let's put the feud for WrestleMania, Trips. Nia Jax versus Natalia. Damn it. Put the title on her now, Trips. Rhea Ripley's gonna win. All right, okay. All right, she's gonna win the title, and that's it. Like it's a 5-way. Like the only reason it's a 5-way is because no one else is on Rhea Ripley's level apart from Becky Lynch, and she's not in the match. Rhea Ripley's ahead of Judgment Day, and yeah, Rhea's gonna win. That's my answer. Damn it.
Such a compelling story. I know, right? I feel like all the energy's just being sucked out of me. Like
more energy, more energy, more passion, more energy.
No, I'm keeping
like goes into like gorilla. Like he goes into gorilla and he's shouting down like the microphone to Michael Cole. Put over Nia on commentary, Michael. Keep talking about Nia, damn it.
Oh my god.
She's a force, Cole. She's an irresistible force, damn it. Put her over,
Well, hey,
Michael.
if you're watching this, we're sorting him out, don't worry.
I hate it here. I hate it here.
What, you're
Right,
tired,
Courtney,
you're
what's
old,
Short and sweet. It's got to be Rhea Ripley. The opportunity for Rhea Ripley to have a huge ovation when she goes down to Australia is just like,
Yeah.
it's happening. Apparently, it's happening. I don't give a shit how we get there. Keep her as the champ. I don't care. It's been teased many a time that it's going to be Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Give me that. Keep the title on Rhea until then, because I genuinely think the only person that could dethrone her is Becky Lynch, and then you can have other feuds. I don't care how we get there. I don't want to talk about this anymore because Reese has just completely ruined this for me. So let's just get into Seth freaking Rollins, who's going to make me feel that much better going up against Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, my answer's not going to be.
Don't you start, Reese. I don't want to hear it. Ross, go.
Drew
Bring up some more caffeine with this shit.
It's Drew
McIntyre.
Right, hear me out.
Drew McIntyre.
Right, hear me out. I was not on Drew McIntyre's train until he uttered 2 words in his promo of no more broken dreams. I swear to God, if he walks out with broken dreams at Crown Jewel,
it's over for you bitches. It's
pack your bag. It's done. It's a wrap.
Seth, don't even come out to the ring.
Like,
Because
bro,
what is yours is now mine.
And also, right, I'm just going to put it this way. It's perfect timing for Seth to lose this bout now, just before the holidays. Go get the surgery. Go get the recovery he needs. And he could come back strong, get himself into the Rumble. Because, I'm sorry, I don't want Cody Rhodes to win the Rumble again. I actually see Seth losing the bout. Go get his nice surgery, recover, and then
nice
Seth
surgery.
Nice surgery.
Yeah.
Probably relaxing surgery.
Was it like Botox or something?
Nah, you know, the surgery will be nice for him. You know, he'll need it.
I bet,
It'll be a nicer feeling in his back, so he won't be constantly in pain.
I'm
Apparently.
constantly in pain with my back, but you don't see me complaining.
Oh well, yeah, true.
I'm a
Get on the Drew train, goddammit.
Get on the tube train.
But no, like I just feel like Seth needs this break, and I could see Seth being a very strong contender for winning Royal Rumble in a few months' time. So
yeah,
yes,
Drew to win.
Yeah.
G. All right, move on. Okay. Jokes.
I don't know. I want Seth to win. But I don't think he's
Boo.
going to.
Boo.
Just boo.
I don't know because Seth is my king. We know this, Courtney. Seth is our king. But there's going to be a point where he's going to lose it. But I don't know if they would put it on Drew, considering his contract is due to run out and he hasn't re-signed or anything yet. As far as we are aware.
It's not running out till March. They could do it.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Perfect reason to make him re-sign a contract. Hey, by the way, if you renew your contract, World Heavyweight title reign for a longer period of time.
Oh, that's evil, that is. Yeah, they can't do it like that.
Yeah.
Chuck this back on.
He's got so many broken dreams of not winning the title, and Triple H is like, "I'll make them come true."
Literally. Feels. Oh, well. So, what's your pick, Jay? Did you actually have one?
Yeah, Seth.
Okay.
It's a difficult one.
Not.
Well, I think it's perfect time for Seth if he is injured to get the surgeries that he needs. But also you could play to the fact that if Drew did lose, he then is broken. And then he plays into it. That he's fully broken, that he had his chance again to win in front of the crowd, get the title, and then he loses again.
But this time, instead of the bloodline causing it,
it's
it'd be the Judgment Day.
It's broken Drew McIntyre. It's like the final Drew lesion.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah. I think I would prefer the story if he was broken Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm Drew all the way. Drew is going to kick his head off and he's going to be new world champion.
Yes.
Grace, keep it short, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your conductor speaking. Has everyone got your tickets? Everyone got your libations? You're the Drew McIntyre train, baby. Let's go. Drew McIntyre is going to go 1, 2, 3, kick Seth Rollins' head off and send him off to surgery. See you later to the Royal Rumble, Mr. Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre finally wins a world title in front of a crowd. Hallelujah. Broken dreams. He makes them come true. He makes them for himself. Let's go, baby. Drew McIntyre for the win. All the way to the winning station of Crown Jewel of champion place things. Drew McIntyre is going to win.
He lost his train of thought there.
I did.
Yeah, the train went off the tracks. Duh.
Yeah, that's my answer.
I would be doing a disservice to my king if I did not say I want Seth Rollins to win. But I would not be mad if Drew McIntyre did this. I really wouldn't. I would not be mad. And this is the thing: is we said the exact same thing about Finn Balor when it came to him at Money in the Bank and at SummerSlam. We were like, perfect time to get the title off Seth, but they didn't do it then.
Yes, we did.
I genuinely think this is like the perfect moment to do it for Drew McIntyre.
This pisses me off, though. Like,
could we see
that's what pisses me off about it?
Yeah.
Because, sorry to interrupt, Courtney. Like, just
like
it pisses me off because like the whole Finn Balor thing. Literally, this storyline could have played out with Finn Balor. Yeah. Whether it would have been Seth Rollins or Finn Balor, either way, Drew could have had a feud with him. It wouldn't have mattered, and it would have made Finn a star.
It should have been Finn.
Sorry, go on. I feel bad for interrupting, but carry on. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Your train got back on track. I didn't want to, stop that.
Well, yeah,
we know that once you get on a roll, you get on a roll. But if Cody Rhodes is to win his match, could we see Damian Priest cash in? Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think if Seth wins,
I thought that.
I think if Seth wins, I think we'll see a Damian cash in. If Drew wins, I don't know. Maybe.
My only thing is I really would like Seth Rollins to be at Elimination Chamber. And I know I keep talking about it, but like, come on, man.
It's because you're going. We did this with.
It's because I'm going. I can actually say that now. I'm going.
Court. We did the same with Money in the Bank. We were literally biased seats because we're like, oh, we're there. This is who we
I don't care if he's champion or not. I just want to sing his song like live. If he is in a chamber match, I'd be stoked about that. I don't know. I don't care.
You've got to appreciate the irony of you only just receiving your world heavyweight title and the possibility of then Seth losing his.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking pour salt in that wound, I swear to God. I bought this literally the day after he won it. It's just been like...
You'll be selling it on Sunday, guys.
I'll give you a tenner for it.
It was funny because when I got this yesterday, Chris was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to buy the new side plates of whoever the new champion is this weekend." And I was like, "You, my friend, are in the fucking dog box now. You don't say that shit."
He's sleeping in Mia's bed tonight.
Mia just sleeps in a basket downstairs.
That's where he's gonna be.
I have to tell him that.
I feel like with this whole thing as well, this is definitely more the match to watch. Interesting note to what we were saying about the Damien cash-in. I had another theory, but I don't think it will happen because it's a very slim chance. Rhea's constantly stopped Damien cashing in. What if realistically
Damien cashes in on her?
Realistically.
No. Rhea loses. What I'm saying, Rhea genuinely loses in the match and then screams at Damien to use the cash in for Rhea to reclaim it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because every time Damien has gone for it, who's been the only person to stop her properly from stop him doing it?
Well, because if she loses it, then everyone else still has the gold but her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. She would do that in a panic of, you'll get another opportunity. You've still got gold. I was robbed. I got all the cards stacked against me. I'm putting it back in my favor. Cash it in now. I'm grabbing it now. Type of thing.
She really would be out here saying, I got squashed by Nia Jax. I was fearing for my life. There were TV monitors all over me. Like, you know?
Damien Priest turns around and goes, "Cry me a river."
It's not the reference, it's the Ross whispering, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Cry me a river.
Yeah. It's just one of the things, like, as we mentioned about Damien going for a cash-in. I feel like that's part storyline where, like, it'd be very interesting to just see another person in the faction use the briefcase.
Yeah.
Because I know Damien won it, and he has a contract of whoever cashes it in gets a title match, but they never said Damien can't gift it to someone in the faction.
That would make Damien like such a beta, though. It would make him like such a cup.
Yeah, he's such a simp.
Yeah, I know that, but also at the same time, you're not really going to fucking fight and argue Rhea, especially if she's being your leader of your group.
Damien's like, "Joke's on you, bitch. I'm going to win the women's world title. See you later." Nia, come in!
Rhea cashes it in, wins, and then fucking Damien slides in, rolls her up, and wins it.
All right, one note I'm going to finish on with this, and we'll get into the last match. Is I had a theory about if Damien Priest tries to cash in, and the briefcase that he got given by Finn and JD doesn't actually have a contract in it. Could we see that happen as well too? Because this was my thought process. Because they had the Money in the Bank contract, and then oh my god, my brain is fucked now. Thanks, Reese. JD and Finn gave him a new one, and then we never know what happened to the old case. They may have had time to swap the contracts around.
We actually do.
But
it was a YouTube upload, so it wasn't on proper tele, but they did show the contract actually being transferred.
Yeah, exchange.
But they've also had time to sneakily go behind the scenes and change it.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying they have kayfabe made people aware.
Yeah.
By the way, he's not just carrying a blank briefcase. The contract is technically in the new design.
But he could be carrying a blank briefcase around.
Mm.
Anyway, let's get into the last match because we've been waiting a long time for this, and we'll be waiting a long time for this person's entrance too.
Anyway.
Wait, there's another
Yeah.
match?
Yeah, the person who's going to take the longest to get to the ring, Roman Reigns going up against LA Knight for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Didn't know about this match.
What?
Oh my god!
I was gonna say.
Guys, get ready to take a nap because Reese will be talking about Roman for about.
Hold
an
on,
hour.
let me just get my title quickly. I'll sleep on that.
I know, no, this won't take long. Don't worry. This won't take long. Just like Roman beating LA Knight won't take very long.
Should we let Reese go first then, so he can
Yeah.
get out the way?
Yeah, Reese can go first.
Okay, cool. As much as I like LA Knight, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is going to win. It's a shame. It is a shame that they've decided to give LA Knight this match so early into his rise, because he's white hot at the minute, and this will push him back down the card. It just will. Maybe into Survivor Series for a War Games match, which okay, cool, but you could have just held off. You could have just held off. You didn't need to. Just because he was getting cheered loads and loads and loads, it didn't need to happen right now. For God's sake, like it's one of those things where LA Knight benefits more from the long game. Kind of like how Gargano in NXT, he wasn't the NXT champion for years. And everyone loved him and wanted him to get to the top, like the Rebel Heart and all that sort of stuff. When he finally beat Cole, it was like, yes, it's finally happened. But with LA Knight, it's like, oh, he's getting cheered. Oh, we better get him a title match straight away. And it's like, no, just chill out, let it simmer. Let it cook. Let it slow cook. Throw it on a smoker, slash some mayo on it, get some rub that peri onto it, get the brisket out, let it cook slow for a couple of hours, and then it's nice and soft and meaty, baby, once it's all ready. Let the LA Knight punch simmer. Let's go.
Yeah.
But you know what? Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, is holding the title until WrestleMania, and it wouldn't surprise me if he held it past WrestleMania. And if he does, screw it, just hold it for another 4 years and break Bruno Sammartino's record. Screw it.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Please no.
Yes, we do want that.
I could honestly see them doing it.
I really
100%.
would. It wouldn't surprise me.
With how they're doing it with Gunther, how they've done it with Bianca, might as well.
Yeah. But
It
yeah,
just seems to be
I'm
seen
sorry.
him once.
I love LA Knight, but he's not winning.
Yeah.
He's not.
Mm.
And if he does, I actually would be very happy. But
Me too.
it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. I would bet all the money in my bank right now that
negative £30.
We were all going, Roman's, it's obvious Roman's going to win. It's obvious Roman's going to win. There's going to be a day where we're all going to sit and go, it's obvious Roman's going to win, and he doesn't. And we're all going to be like,
Yeah, because we've been conditioned that this is how it is.
Yeah.
Like this, I was on live. I think I was on live with UG, at WrestleMania, and I thought Cody was winning. I really thought it was I thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Mm.
And I've got a live reaction of myself, and like when Solo gets on the ropes, I was like, no. And
Dude,
then
I was there too.
hits him with a
Yeah, we
spear,
all
and it's
together.
1, 2, 3, and I was just like, just absolutely threw myself
You were.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I was literally the only person in the arena at Clash of the Castle who was happy, and I think I was the only person on TikTok that was happy when Roman retained the title.
You probably were.
It's weird to think about with Roman, isn't it? I think we can all just talk about that for a minute. It's weird to think about how hated he was only about 4 years ago.
Mm.
It's weird. And now that he's a heel, and now that kind of like what we were saying about Randy Orton, how he's an arsehole. I can't relate to him. He's not a baby face. He's far more handsome than me. He's far more richer than me. He's got a family bloodline that has got way more heritage than mine. He's got everything going for it. I can't relate to him, just like I couldn't relate to John Cena. When he was a mega baby face, he wins everything. That's not a baby face. A baby face is supposed to be like a proper underdog, or have something like stacked against him. Roman had never had anything stacked against him. So when he turned heel and embraced it, he was like, "Yeah, I'm the head of the table." I was like, "Yeah, cool. You're cool now." Like your promos became better. Your like, you know what I mean? The story became better because it felt like it wasn't getting pushed down my throat. Like, and there's a reason why he's held the title for so long. It's because even when he's not there, the story continues, and it's clearly working because whenever Roman comes on TV, ratings go up. Like, you know, like it works. So why would
Because they want to see? Because they want to see if he's going to defend or not.
They want to see if he's clocked in for his shift.
What, on a random SmackDown? No, they just want to see him.
Sure.
So that's me. Roman Reigns is winning. I just thought
also
Roman Reigns for a little bit there.
Just to put where you were saying the 4 years hated ago, there's a great analytical video on it called The Unreality of Pro Wrestling, where it literally talks the rise of the Shield, the departure of the Shield, and how fans genuinely turned on Roman Reigns and how it was built that way. It's by Super iPad 4. I highly recommend it because it gives that perspective of how what Moxley and what Seth had going for them, which made them be built separately to Roman, and Roman never had that opportunity. He was always dealt the wrong hand. Like WWE tried to force this progression of this babyface where he didn't really know where his own direction was going, and that was a hindrance to him. And like as you said, him embracing that heel finally gave him a character he could build himself into. And I think that's where this kind of storyline like combinates of LA Knight has been a character from the beginning where Roman had an awful streak to now has built this character and has become a pinnacle of characters.
The fact is, Roman was picked as the new face by Vince.
Yeah.
Because Cena was on the out and Vince picked him.
Yeah.
And I kind of like Cena. No matter how much the fans booed him, Vince wanted what Vince wanted, and he wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
And then when there was a bit of creative leeway in his kind of departure / like less control, we saw results. Like Roman has never been more popular. He's never been more big than he is right now.
Yeah. I think a massive testament to that is like, you know, people, if I eventually tell them that I watch wrestling, they know who Roman Reigns is. Like,
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is he's had that main attention to the point where like people who don't even watch wrestling, anytime you mention WWE, they're like, oh, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And that used to be
hate him.
It used to be Cena, it used to be Austin, it used to be Hogan. And
it's Cena, it's Rock, it's all these people.
And now it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he's that guy now. Simple as that. He's a person that gets bums to seats. He gets eyes to TVs. It's as simple as that. People buying pay-per-views.
Sorry, go on, carry on.
No, I was going to say, like, obviously, since then, he's just leveled up. Every
100%. Yeah, like
he keeps leveling up. And
he really does. It's one of those things where, like you talk about the level up. Us sitting here as fans talk about Roman, and I remember watching him in 2015 when it was unbearable. When it was that.
I hated him. Didn't want to see him on the screen.
It wasn't like I don't like you. It was like I don't want to see you on my TV.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a specific time where, and this was like the straw. I already hated Roman Reigns, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And it was when Miz was doing wonders with the IC title on Raw.
Yeah.
And then Roman just got an IC title match and beat him. And I was like, why? Yeah. Why did that need to happen? Like that, I was so angry at it. I think I spent about 6 hours after watching Raw on like a wrestle group on Facebook, just arguing with everybody about it. So I was so pissed off about it because I was like, it was so unnecessary. Roman is supposed to be in the main event. Why have you brought him down to the IC title picture and taken it off a guy who was doing wonders for this championship? And then it pissed me off even more. He was meant to be a babyface, and he was just a prick whenever he did a promo. And then he would either grab a title, throw it over his shoulder, or just drag it down. Like sometimes he forgets to bring it out with him, and I'm like, this is the guy I'm supposed to be cheering.
Yeah.
Like, And it was back then when I was like, all they need to do with Roman, and it might even result in becoming a better babyface in the future. All they need to do with Roman is turn him heel. Turn him heel. That's all you need to do. And the fans will get behind him, because then, he'll probably keep on winning, which he's doing now. But he's a heel, and he's getting the right reaction, the reaction that he's supposed to be getting.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Once again, he has now kind of reformed his own newer version of the Shield, but with family members.
Yeah.
So that it's a more in-depth, intertwined story.
It is. But then it comes down to the whole, like I've said this time and time again, him needing people around him is because he might feel like he can't do it all on his own. He's insecure. Yeah. Remember, he got turned on. He wants people around him to protect him because he doesn't want to get stabbed in the back again, but not realizing that people that are in your inner circle are going to do that to you.
100%. And this is what I say as well. When people go, I don't like Roman, he always has to get someone else to help him win. And it's like, that's the point. Like, that is the point. He is paranoid from what happened in the Shield, from what happened with his family. So now he's getting the family around him, and he's like, I can trust him, or can I? Do you know what I mean? But like, they're all scared of him because of like, the power that he's got. That is the point of the character of Roman Reigns. He's like,
he's just heels in general. Like every heel group gets other group members to help. Some of Bullet great. Some of
really like
do the same.
Borrowed off the point here.
Not really. We're
having a good conversation.
We're just all stating the point of look how big Roman is, and you're putting someone who is like a flash in the pan streak right now. I love LA Knight. I think LA Knight is one of the most charismatic, enjoyable characters right now. But against someone like Roman, it's just going to destroy the character.
This could kill his momentum. It could kill his momentum dead in his tracks.
What did I say to you the other day? I think it was me and Courtney were talking in private messages, and I said, I hope they have some direction for LA Knight.
That's my only thing. I think we're all sitting with a general consensus that Roman Reigns will retain by some form of interference or something. As I said to G, and I 100% agree with her in saying this, I just hope that it doesn't kill his momentum, because I wouldn't have minded playing the long game. I wouldn't have minded, because that's what it felt like they were doing. They were playing the long game with LA Knight, and it was going to eventually pay off. But a lot of people are saying, yes, he's jumped into this too soon, and I totally understand where they're coming from. But I just want to make sure that like there is some form of safety net for him to fall into once he does this and go,
and
okay, you're going to be fine. No, exactly. You're going to be fine. Get caught in the net. You're going to be fine. Let's take you this way because it's not going to kill your momentum. But I just feel as though they don't have anything ready for him, and we're just going to see him fall further down the card. And that's honestly going to upset a lot of people, because I can see LA Knight as one of the big faces of the company.
100%.
Oh,
and we've seen it happen so many times with people that have gone up against Roman Reigns. I mean, like, this might be a really bad example, but Finn Balor, after that match that he had, what happened to him after that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it happen with people before, and we've seen it happen where people have been fine afterwards, but it's just, I think sometimes we get too focused on the present booking and not thinking about how this is going to impact somebody's future.
You've got to think about the future, 100%. Yeah,
I'm just terrified, because I love LA Knight. I've grown to love him, and I don't want this to ruin him, because we've seen it happen with so many people.
I was going to say, I think with this match, you can't have Roman smash him.
No.
You can't, because like he says, if they do that, that's it.
You've got to protect
his momentum. Yeah, you've got to protect him. It's got to be some some small interference or something that you don't see. You build LA Knight to a point where you think he's actually going to win.
Yeah.
And then something happens.
The thing is, we could, if not Jimmy or Solo to interfere, trying to help Roman, maybe we could see Jay come out to help LA Knight, possibly.
Yeah.
And it cost LA.
I don't know. I just think our general consensus is he just needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
You could do the ref spot where LA Knight hits his blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
You start seeing that 1, 2. You see the third is literally going to get hit. Ref gets dragged out, or ref gets knocked out, and then you've got the crowd counting even longer. You can have LA go to like a 6 count, and you see him covering and realizing the ref's not doing something, because that will still make LA Knight look strong because you've hit with the finisher and it's knocked Roman out for a long time.
I think you could do that, but then you could also have a moment where it's like Michael Cole on commentary is like, get another ref out here, and you can just see that like Jimmy's causing a fight backstage, which is causing a lot of refs to have to split it up. No one can come out and help.
I wouldn't even mind. And they did this. I think they did this with, it might have been Kevin Owens, which, by the way, that was a terrible decision bringing him back to SmackDown, because he's only just recovered from the Roman Reigns thing. And I think the tag team championship thing really rebuilt him in my eyes. And him bringing Cody back to SmackDown, it's just like, why? They did this with Kevin Owens. And I think it was Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns was taken to the absolute limit. And he was absolutely pretty much destroyed by Kevin Owens. But Roman Reigns ended up winning by some shenanigans or whatever. But like Roman Reigns was kind of like helped to the back by the Usos, and like the camera like picked him up saying like, I don't ever want to see him again. Like I don't ever want him around me again. Like, you know, like kind of like sort of shaky, like kind of scared of him.
I know the one you're on about, because I think that was their last man standing.
It was the last man standing match, And Roman was tied by handcuff to the thing, so technically he was on the floor, but the ref wasn't counting. It completely fucked it up.
Yeah, I just think that I think LA Knight, I wouldn't even mind like Roman Reigns coming out of this looking shit, because he doesn't lose anything. He's still the champion. LA Knight just needs just give LA Knight something. Just give him anything.
Just protect him, please. It's all I'm asking for.
This is the other thing I was gonna say. With Elimination Chamber coming up, I still think LA Knight gets one more opportunity if he loses this match, because I don't see how they don't book this. Roman in the Elimination Chamber defends the belt against 5 other people in that chamber.
Austin Theory did that this year, didn't he? Austin Theory did that this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Austin Theory had to do that, where he defended against everyone in the chamber. I don't see how you don't do that with Roman. You put one of the Bloodline members he trusts in, so he thinks he's got backup, and then
you can have it as an opportunity for Jimmy to actually show that he does know what he's doing and stick behind Roman. And Jimmy
put Solo in it, so we get that moment of Solo looks at himself, looks to go to do the Samoan spike, and then looks at who he could do it to, and contemplates hitting Roman with it. Play that seed into it. Like after the Elimination Chamber, there is a huge opportunity, not just for LA Knight, not just for Roman, but for Solo, for these stories to have a really impactful moment. And Crown Jewel is like that starting point.
For real.
I think we should wrap up a little bit now.
Hell yeah.
I was just going to mention with LA Knight, I think there's a potential you could easily have him win the Rumble.
There's a few good contenders for the Rumble, but we'll talk about that at a later date.
Yeah. So before we finish up, I just want to mention that there's been a rumor going around for quite some time that apparently WWE has tried to secure Cristiano Ronaldo for Crown Jewel. Like what though? Like why?
It's because he's out there, isn't he? He's out in Saudi, so he plays in Saudi.
Logan Paul versus Cristiano Ronaldo
to make an appearance. Would maybe I don't know, do something.
Drink
it makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. If
they want to drop 100 mil to have him there, that's what they're gonna do. You know?
Does Saudi will pay for it?
Yes.
As soon as Roman wins, you just see Cristiano Ronaldo run in and just hit the Sue with Roman.
Oh my god!
So, any surprises or returns moments you think we're going to see super quickly before I get Reese to wrap up for us?
Kairi Sane.
I say Jade. I think they implement Jade.
Jade seems like the more logistical one.
Yeah.
I want to make Kairi Sane for fun, though. I'd love to see Kairi Sane just rock up after the EO match.
I feel like we could see Jade come to the aid of Bianca Belair if Damage Control's beating down.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And then obviously they're like, we could use our talents elsewhere and go and join Montez, Angelo, and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, maybe you have them come down after the match. Maybe you have Montez come down after the match. And Sola. And then you see the Bobby in the background or something.
Yeah.
That'd be good, yeah.
I'd like that.
Definitely.
That'd be a really cool storyline setup.
Yeah.
I'd think that'd be big money.
Mm. All right. Does anyone else have anything to add before I get Reese to do what he does best?
Drink Prime.
Oh God, no.
No, amazing.
If Logan wins, do we get a USA title belt version of Prime?
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, you know it. You know we
Yeah.
will.
That'd be so sick, though. I'd
Yeah.
actually just buy it for the bottle.
Yeah, I would as well.
Fair
Fair
Right.
enough. Right, Reese, do you wanna do what you do best? Wrap it up.
Yeah, sure thing. Right, guys, thank you for tuning in for our predictions for WWE Crown Jewel coming up this Saturday. Oh, it's an early start time. Thank God for us in the UK. What time does it start for you, Court?
6 o'clock in the morning, which is early, but I wake up earlier for work, so it's totally
Well,
fine.
You know what? That's a
Are you
great
sure
time
it's
for you as well.
okay and it's not an inconvenience?
Well, it's a good time. It's like a 6 a.m. start. That's dope because then you can get on with the rest of your day. Yeah, like for us, like it's like 5 p.m. I believe it is for
I
us.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you tune into that. We shall probably have some live reactions on the channel. Make sure you tune in for Saturday morning because we are going to be active anyway with a SmackDown review. We have something cool from Tuesday. That is a Raw review from Court. We have something from yesterday. That is the NXT review from me, which was a really good episode of NXT Halloween Havoc Night 2. Really, really cool show. Let me know what you think of my thoughts if you want to go check that video out. We are going to be having another great stream of videos next week for you guys. But for now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on TikTok, X/Twitter, or Instagram. But for now, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday night. And peace out, guys.
Thanks for joining us again,
Yeah.
Keegan.
Yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate
Keaton.
it. Yeah, no
Why do I get confetti?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I always get the gifts.